I've got to give SABC Sport as a collective, the leadership here, all the way from management coming down, Keletso Totlanyo, Itumeleng, who else is in those? All the big bosses, man. For a long time, there were complaints about the quality and even the availability of sport on the SABC. This weekend, I was home for a huge chunk of it. I got to watch the Bundesliga. I got to watch the Premier League. I got to watch the Champions League, the African Champions League. I got to watch PSL. I got to watch all of that. Not only on SABC, 1, 2, and 3, which the games are scattered across, but also on our own channel on SABC Sports. Unbelievable. And yes, there's always more to do, and there's always better that we can improve upon. I completely agree. But geez, the amount and the array of sport, and it's no secret that the SABC doesn't have the sort of money our neighbors do. We don't. That's no secret. But for all of you that do what you can to put in that 15 rands, 100 rands, 200 rands, whenever you can towards your TV license, this is the work that you have allowed us to be able to do. And I'm so proud of the team, and I'm so proud and thankful to you. Thank you so much for seeing us, yeah? It's exactly 9. Well, it's just gone 10 up to the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. It's the Three Wise Men on a Monday. They're all here. We're going to be looking at the weekend that was. We're going to have a guest. A coach comes on. He's a friend of the room, and I can't wait to speak to him. He is not happy with a lot of people saying, hey, man, listen, you might be buying games here. And he says, my work cannot be, belittled and watered down to just buying games. So we'll go to him. But the big conversation over the weekend, and we haven't touched on basketball in a very long time. LeBron James, he wins the in-season NBA tournament. Have a listen to this.
Yeah, I don't think it's even about the MVP. I think it's about us coming together and winning this thing. This is the inauguration of the in-season tournament. It's something like records will be broken, but one thing that will never be broken is to be the first to do something. And we're the first champions of the in-season tournament, and nobody can ever top that. And it's great to be able to do it with such a historical franchise, and it's even better to do it with such a great competitive men over here. And the first question they asked me when I came off, they was like, so when do we get our money? I was like, I don't know.
The one thing you can't take away is the first. Records will be broken. You can be the highest, you can be the most, but that record will be broken. The one thing that will never be broken is being the first to do it. That's LeBron James. Have a listen to the announcer when it all went down.
The last trophy, the MVP cup for outstanding play throughout the entire tournament to a man who, frankly, there's nothing else to win in this league. The only thing I can say, I'm sorry, but it doesn't come with a franchise. LeBron James, the MVP.
So there you have it, and that's the conversation Touch and I were having, looking at everything that he's won. I mean, there was no in-season tournament back then, so we can't compare that to Michael Jordan. But, I mean, he's really, really, really putting his hand up to be counted amongst the greatest, isn't it? That's LeBron James. In my view, he's still competing and maybe, nudging above Kobe Bryant now. Nowhere near where Jordan was. But it's a weekend looking back to everything that was. I've got the three wise men here. The three wise men in the building.
The three wise men, but not always so wise. On Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
Vic, what do you have for us?
We have Amazulu Sundowns. There's a goal scored by Amazulu, Dion. That was ruled offside. So
yeah, Propilan is listening. He wants to hear what you're going to say about that.
Yes, we're going to take it to Soccer Zone, but it was a beautiful goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful goal. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We also go to Sundowns again. Shalule scored a beautiful goal that was ruled offside. We saw Mudao going to the assistant referee, who was a female. We are on 16 days gender-based violence against women and children. Hey, abuser, assistant ref, I'm tabalang a yellow card.
I'm abuser.
You went to the assistant referee and showed dissent. So showing dissent.
No, but we've got to be. Okay. Well, we'll get to it when we speak to it. I've got something to say to that. I've got something to say to that. And I hope there's women listening. There's all sorts of people listening, because if I'm wrong here, I'd love for you to correct me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very frank, and I hope that if I'm wrong, don't take offense. Just correct me, and let's all learn together.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be I'm gonna put my feet in the mud here. No, I'm putting my feet in the mud here. We'll get to that one. Masala, what do you have?
I don't know, Andile, if you've got enough time for me. I think I might need extra time today. I've got content on content. There might be. Hopefully, I'm not preempting anything here, but I think there might be a war brewing, for a lack of a better word.
A war
between Safa and the PSL with regards to Bafana's preparation for the Africa Cup of Nations, because I think we've played his clip on the show before, Coach Hugo Bruce saying he sent a letter requesting for the league to
end earlier than normal.
So when the season started and he saw the fixtures come out, he was surprised that there were games playing until the 30th of December. So there's been an update from the Safa NEC. CEO Lydia Munyepa was talking about how she is in consultation with Mamato about doing something to help Coach Hugo Bruce, but we'll get into that. And then there's Kevin Johnson adding his voice to Itumeleng Khune's recent suspension by the club, and a whole lot more.
Oh, we'll get to that and a whole lot more, of course. Davik, I can tell you now that, Propilana says it was scored by Extian.
That goal?
Yeah, that
not
goal.
Dion.
No, not Dion, by Extian. Okay. I told you, he's late. He just said that he's waiting. And I've got somebody that's already backing me up on the conversation we're going to have about Mudau.
Oh, okay.
So Mudau of Sundowns goes up to the assistant referee and shows dissent.
Yeah.
But she was female.
Yeah, she was female.
And you're saying 16 days. Okay, we'll get to. No, let's pause it there. Let's pause it there.
I think Tatana just wants drama. He just wants drama for his content.
No. Let's pause it there. You know, there's content versus content here. But so far, Tatana's winning. I can tell you that. Because we want that conversation. Let's take a break. When we come back, a friend of the room, Dan Malesela, now, of course, coaching in the first division of South African football. He is the coach of second place Baroka. Will be talking to us. Right, it's exactly 17 after the 06 on the Mighty Metro FM. This is Sports That Amplified with Andile. Our last week on the air, before we take a break, and we're back in January again. So this is our last 5 days before we let Metro do what Metro does over the weekends. Over the festive period, which is just get you further into the mood of festive and go through it with you with some of the best music. I'm here to find out, actually, is it Lulo coming again, Timmy? Please just find out for us. I think Lulo and it's not Lulo? Okay, I'll let them find out. They'll let us know. Then I'll let you know who's going to be taking over.
Is this why Tatana is trying to go out with a bang?
Yeah, he's going out with a bang. The last of the three wise men, and he's going out with a bang, because that's a conversation we need to have. But another conversation we need to have is with a friend of the room. We love having him. Dan's Malesela, Baroka FC coach, now joins us. Dan's? Yeah, how are you?
I'm great, and you?
Hendata, una village wena manje, eh? A village.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the benches somewhere and I'm watching the village now.
But I mean, with that being said, some of us have never been there. We've just seen pictures. It looks like such a great place to educate and learn and teach football. How nice is that Baroka village?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's convenient. It's just amazing, So it's convenient for any coach who wants to have a facility like that, So that's why I stay at the village now, and I was supposed to go out, but I feel like I'm better here than outside the village.
So you actually live in the village?
Yes, I do.
Oh, wow. Listen, I mean, it's only, I think Kaizer Chiefs have a village, but it doesn't have that sort of facilities. Only Royal AM and Baroka is the only two places I can think of that actually have like boarding within their villages. And you know both of them. I mean, just it's so nice to see the progression of where teams are going, Dan.
Yeah, no, it's so convenient. It's unbelievable because you don't have to drive anywhere, to get office work or ask somebody or even check the field, because I'm hands-on with the field, the condition of the field, and we're trying to get it as better as possible, so as good as possible. So I'm hands-on on everything, the gym, everything that's here.
Dan, you took over the coaching reins from Stanford Nkwane in October this year. I think he had played 5 games already with no victory. He had 2 defeats and 3 draws when you took over. He'd been in charge of the last 10 games now that you guys are sitting in second position after 15 matches played. You had 2 points adrip from Orbit College at the moment. I remember when we spoke to the chairman, and he said he has one thing for you, and that you must qualify and you must promote the team. It seemed, such a tall order then, but congratulations, you're sitting in second position.
Yeah, I know. We appreciate it, and it's all through God that you can have the wisdom to be able to do certain things, So I'm grateful with what we have achieved so far, but selfish as I am, I want more, So we cannot begin to say we have achieved, but we are doing well so far.
What did you do differently? I mean, this was a team that didn't look like they could climb the tables when you took over. This was a team that couldn't even win a game. What have you done differently, Dan? What is it that you've added to the team that's allowed them now to be the team that's competing, that's chasing?
A bit of professionalism, awareness about the brand that the players are busy building, the brand that they are now, and they're busy building. So the bigger stake to life, you're not looking at smaller and little things, happy with a salary, and then that's it, as opposed to building yourself, and also self-belief, because one thing I always preach to the players is to say, if you don't believe in yourself, who must believe in you? We live with that motto every time, that, trust yourself more than anybody else.
There was a feeling,
especially when you're on the field, yeah.
There was a feeling some years back, and I thought it still continued, that the second tier was actually more difficult than the DStv Premiership. That was the difficult one to win. There was just so many things. Have you disproven that? Is it still difficult down there, Dan? I mean, I look at you in 10 games.
It's very tough. It's very tough. It's very difficult. It's very competitive. Remember, I think the reasons are just that all of us are looking at one thing, promotion. There isn't much except for the Nedbank, but you wouldn't be pleased to win the Nedbank and not gain promotion. The other one takes over and the other one, So we all are fighting for one thing, and most of the teams do not want to go through to the playoffs, because it's a very difficult thing to do as well. So everybody's eyeing the number one spot, so it becomes very, very difficult.
Is that why some teams will see you go all the way to second position after not winning a single game, and there'll be people that say, yeah, it's because you're buying games?
It's sad, I was speaking to somebody after yesterday's match, and, some of the comments that are made by some of our younger coaches, are not good, because it's more like people, when they leave where they are and they come here, they're already expecting something, and I know for a fact that that's one thing that they shouldn't hate, in terms of this thing, referees and all of this things. But, when somebody says, the referee wants to give them a penalty, it's more like you're undermining me and the team that I have. You're under pressure, you're defending, and you can say no. The referee wants to give them a penalty. Yeah, why are you sitting in the penalty box? If you don't want the referee to give a penalty.
But, I mean, that's something...
Which we didn't get anyway, because there was a handball. We didn't get anyway. So, and the comments are not being retracted, so...
And this is something that a Dan Dance would never get involved in, even if it is, to some people, culture in the lower leagues. This is something that if you found out, or if you knew something, you would, I'm assuming, Dan, knowing or thinking that I know the person you are, this is something you would never get involved in.
I'll be very furious. I'll be very furious because then you don't trust me. If you want to help me, if you want to help me win matches, you get me players, get me something. Don't get involved with referees. It's not okay. It's not okay for the young referees. For them to grow up in a South Africa or in a South African football where people would be giving something, for other people to win matches. They must just do their job and be proud, when they retire to say, I've served the game very well, and that's it, Even me, I want to be like that. I've played the game, I've done my best, I couldn't achieve that, but I've achieved that, that's it.
Dan, I'm looking at your log right now, and it's still open all the way down to Black Leopards sitting in 11th. Anybody can still challenge with 15 games to go.
Yeah.
Is this your league? Is this Baroka's league to win outright and come back?
Look, I believe with us, we can decide our fate. The way we are now, we will be the only ones who decide our own fate. If we want to win this league so much, we will do that. Because we've got the ability to do that. And I'm not one who, I'm very reasonable, I'm very realistic. If I thought chances are very slim, I wouldn't say that we can't. We have a very, very big chance of doing it.
Dan Dance, we're going to be keeping up with you and keeping in touch with you as we go. But hold on, before I let you go, Victor Hlongwane is with us every Monday. I have no idea what he's going to say. I'm not responsible for anything that he says. Vic, go for it.
Coach, I just want to assure you, relax. FIFA and CAF and SAFA have got a hotline number where people can report corruption. If people have any other thing, they must go to the police. They must not waste our time by talking. If you're sure that there's a team that is doing, go to the police and stop wasting our time. So relax and play. Bashape, coach. Bashape when I relax. Protect because football is won on the field of play. Thank you very much.
He's like getting me on the field, bro.
That's Malesela. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Coach Dance, before I let you go, the way you're doing now, you're doing so well. Your name has always been bantered around the DSTV Premiership. Even in Naturana, sometimes people mention your name. Have you spoken to any top flight team in the last, let's say, 3 months, 6 months?
No, not at all. In the last 8 months, no.
So you've never had, you've heard your name when people say, we need the sort of football that Dance plays.
I've heard that a lot. And even one time I went to a Chiefs game, and before the match, everybody was saying, hey, coach, you are coming. We had the news you are coming, and then Chiefs won 3-0. And they didn't say anything.
Dan, do you think you'd be a good fit to a team, not even to a team, to Chiefs? Do you think that would be a good fit for you with the brand of football that you play? Because you don't compromise in the football you play.
Well, I would, I don't want to disrespect my club, but any team that is good, that has resources like Kaizer Chiefs, everybody would want to coach there, but like I said, I don't want to disrespect my club.
No, of course.
Because I have a contract with it. Yeah.
Coach, I know you're doing your badges as well. All the best with everything, man. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
He's out of here. Dan Das Malesela. When we come back, Mazola gives us his stories, and then we all wait for Victor. Mazola must just get done. Yeah, no, he started a conversation, has Victor Hlongwane, and it all stems around Mudau of Sundowns when they played Pyramids. He wasn't happy with the decision made, which was an offside call on Shalulile's goal. He then made his way across to the assistant that was there to demonstrate and say, no, man, listen, I'm not happy with this. Obviously, he did so not in, he wasn't having a nice conversation. He was showing his anger at the decision made. But the issue, according to the referee, is that was a female assistant referee. We have different views on it, so we'll get into it. But firstly, Mazola, what do you have?
Andile, let's get started with there was a Safa NEC meeting this weekend at Safa House. Obviously wrapping up the end of the year, some resolutions taken, and our SABC sport reporter Velile Mnyandu went over there, and he, joined part of the conversation and the press conference with the Safa CEO, who first confirmed that Bafana, ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast next year, will now be based in Stellies. For just before they leave. I think they depart a few days before the tournament kicks off in Cote d'Ivoire, and they've secured Stellies as a camping base. They tried locally just to check, but excuse me, the places were not available per se, but that is not the meaty part of the story here. It's just where the CEO mentions that Coach Hugo Broos had initially at the start of the season sent a request to the Premier Soccer League to ask that, given that Bafana have qualified, by then Bafana obviously had qualified after beating Liberia. We knew that they were going to the AFCON. Can they make space for Bafana to be able to camp, have a longer pre-camp before the tournament? And he was surprised when the fixtures came out and there was a fixture scheduled on the 30th, or a round of fixtures scheduled for the 30th of December. Now, Lydia has confirmed that she is in talks with the PSL regarding an interesting, maybe middle ground here, to try and listen to this, Andile, to try and end the schedule early, before Christmas. I don't know how that would be
PSL
possible.
schedule.
Yeah, the DStv Premiership schedule in the top flight, to end it early. I don't know how that's going to work, because those games are obviously scheduled until the 30th.
Because there's games on the 27th, there's games on the 29th. One game on the 27th, which is Swallows and Sundowns. 29th, there's 2 games. On the 30th of December, there's a full fixture of games between that weekend of the 30th. The 31st, there's a game as well. Cape Town Spurs versus Cape Town City. So that's a Cape Town derby there. Yeah, that's there. So
I don't know.
You'd be cancelling 2 to 3 rounds of 2 rounds, in fact, of games.
But we've got a sound clip of the Safa CEO sort of mentioning the discussion between her and Mamatu.
I have given myself on Monday to follow up with the acting CEO, just to gauge, how far they are in terms of the discussions, so that, because the coach is on my case every day asking, what is the response from the PSL, so that he can know, what will he be working with come January? Will he be working with really fatigued players, or will he be working with more fresher players, coming into camp and preparing for the tournament?
And Hugo Broos. If she says Hugo Broos has been on my case on a daily basis, you know what that's like. So we'll try to follow up that story and see if there can be an update. Obviously, she said she had given herself a deadline on Monday. Perhaps tomorrow there will be, discussions of finalities. The next story, still sticking with the, resolutions from the Safa NEC. Now, VP Linda Zwane was talking about the CAF regulations. So now this is a big deal now for PSL coaches with regard to, it's been a hot trending topic. I mean, I think the most vocal so far has been TX Galaxy coach Shad Ramovic about CAF A, CAF B licenses and the level between top flight and lower divisions, what type of coaches should be there. And now the VP says Safa are now buying into the club licensing regulations beginning 2024-2025 season. I'll let him explain further.
When the TD raised the matter during our last Congress, he received a serious criticism, but we are clear that is our position. And of course, now that we have given a time line in terms of that, this year we are relaxed, but from next year this is what we want, because already we have came back to the convention. Obviously next year we will be rolling out your B license and all of that, so there will be no excuse for coaches.
No excuse for coaches.
Hold on, am I hearing this right?
Yeah.
They're saying from possibly next season, there's going to be a minimum requirement for coaches in South Africa.
Absolutely. As you know, in other parts of the African continent, especially Botswana and Lesotho, you cannot sit on the bench, just as it is with CAF Confed Cup now and Champions League. If you do not have a CAF A license or from the sister federation, a UEFA Pro license, you cannot sit on the bench. The game we covered
from PSL going down, it tells you that going forward we will not be hiring any person who has questionable qualifications, or we don't even know the qualifications.
Not questionable. Oh wow!
Yeah.
I think we can do a little bit of an exercise and come back with stats on what every coach in the 16 teams currently has. I mean, obviously, we know the ones that are safe. Sia Dramovic is one because he's gone on. He's gone on now with he's got a pro license, in fact, a UEFA Pro license, in fact. And we'll take a look at all the DSTV Premiership coaches and see which one will not be able to coach a team come August of next year. Are they going to be courses between now and August that will allow all the coaches that don't have to get, though?
Absolutely. There will be courses next year. Even Safa are going to implement, start rolling out CAF B licenses across the
So there is an opportunity
so there
for
is an
everyone to catch
opportunity
up.
before that August 2024 deadline for everybody to catch up.
Surely that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Those who don't catch up, either you ship in or ship out. Second last story, Kevin Johnson, just quickly on Itumeleng Khune's suspension. Obviously, we know that the club made an announcement that Khune, following he failing a breathalyzer test, has been suspended. Other misconducts that were added, and he's been suspended indefinitely, as is currently is the case. And Kevin Johnson naturally was asked about it after Chiefs played Polokwane City over the weekend.
That is something that has to be big credited to the management of this team. And that doesn't mean Kevin Johnson. It means Jessica, it means Kaizer, it means Kemiso, it means Gerald, it means Bobby, it means Vina. All of us put together how the club inside the village is able to control that type of news.
And I'm hoping that there's going to be some sort of resolution for both Itu and Kaizer Chiefs. It would be a very, very sad ending to what's been such a great story of Itumeleng Khune, the young boy who loved this team so much, joined it.
The Chiefs 13
years old and has given his everything to this team. It would be very, very sad if it ends anything short of just, a great story. With that being said, Bruce Bvuma was outstanding this weekend for Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah. He was out. Should have been man of the match.
Should have been man of the match.
I don't know how you and your people at the field there didn't give it to him. I don't know how you didn't. Bruce Bvuma should have been man of the match. Taking nothing away from Modi, he was great as well. He gave the team something, but Bruce was outstanding.
In the game, he got them those 3 points really. Final story. We're talking about coaches who are maybe not underqualified or not prepared. Another one who's sort of admitted that he perhaps isn't fit for the job is Phutimo Hafe out at Polokwane City. He's currently the co-coach alongside Bryce Aka at Polokwane City after Coach Lihlonolo Seema resigned. We asked him after the game whether he felt he was capable of turning the corner for Polokwane City.
This is the performances that we see every match that we play, but this one was far better performance than the rest of the matches. And the only thing that we need to do is to score one goal. If we score that one goal, then the monkey will be off our backs.
And I mean, he had such a great game. That first half in particular, Polokwane City gave it to Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs were able to withstand the power and the pressure that they were inflicting on them. So, it's sad that he feels the pressure, but I can imagine taking over a team that won't score.
Yeah, let's actually play the right clip where he he talks about feeling inadequate almost.
I cannot say I'm not ready, because there is no easy journey, there is no difficult journey. So I cannot say I'm not ready. I'm ready. It depends on the management on what to do. I'm almost there. I think I'm 95% there. And I still need to be showed certain things of football, certain aspect of football that I don't know about, certain aspect of football that I have to learn, certain aspect of football that I need to deal with.
before I can say I'm 110% ready.
Well, honest enough, I guess. Let's see if Chairman Johnny Mukhaladi allows him to stay in the job, because Polokwane have gone on a 5-game winless streak since Coach Lihlono Siema left the club.
We haven't been told for how long, and I think with the young minds that we are, we still need to have an elder or someone who has been more into this league, or something with someone with more experience than us to come and guide us.
I leave it there, Let's let that.
Yeah, no, we've been waiting for you to leave it. Thank you. Hey, no monya man. No monya man. Thank you for leaving it. No. Should we take? No, we don't even need to take a break. Yeah, we'll be taking your calls, of course, at 45 on 086 0002160. Your WhatsApps on 060 Hey, it's not like we don't know that there are teams that pay players. We know. We know that there are 3 teams at the moment who are struggling to pay players. We are making contact with the team so that we try and bring them on the air, and we deal with it in that way rather than us just talking at them. But we do know. We are aware. Players have called, say, hey, Andile, man, put pressure. We're not getting our money. We're not getting our money. Get December. Imagine not getting your money.
Yo.
Tatane, what are you saying? What happened in that game?
We're starting with Amazulu and Sundowns. Yeah, Amazulu scored a goal, which was disallowed. When we draw the line at Soccer Zone, we'll show you that it was a good goal. Let me leave it there. The other one is when the coaches were fighting on this one. It came out.
Which coaches?
Coach Rulani and
Maputi.
No. Amazulu coach.
Oh, Amazulu coach.
Pablo
Martins. Yeah.
Yes. It came out that the coach was saying that was a soft penalty. And then Rulani was saying, no, it was a correct decision. So
there's no soft penalty.
Yeah,
it's not like eggs.
We said it in this show that penalty is not like eggs, which are soft, well done, hard done, scramble. Penalty is penalty. So don't tell us about soft, hard. So they fought, but halftime, they shook hands. You're like,
Great sportsmanship.
Yeah, great sportsmanship, but showing lack of respect for the game, fighting in that in the technical
area.
area.
It's an emotional game.
It's an emotional game.
Yeah, we're saying the top referee must be able to manage the
emotional.
emotional.
You were emotional when you were referee.
No, we're saying the top referee must be able to manage the emotional reactions of players and coaches, which they did well.
Okay.
Let's go to CAF.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see even my jacket today has got CAF.
I can see.
Yeah, so CAF is very hot.
In my time.
Yeah, in my time. Let's go to Sundowns and Pyramids. We saw on the 80th minute, Shalu scored a beautiful goal, which was correctly ruled offside.
Okay.
But Mudau, he fell down, holding his head, hitting the ground. Eventually, he went to the assistant referee, who was a woman. And abused the assistant referee.
How did he abuse her? Tell us.
You know what he was doing? I don't know whether he was saying it in Venda or English. But now in South Africa, we are on the 16 days of gender-based violence against women and children. So once you see a woman with these 16 days, we expect you to show respect. So he did not show respect until the referee came from Gabon and gave him a yellow card. Remember, 16 days.
So Tatani, you're saying it is wrong because she's a woman?
No, football has an incredible power. At this stage, we need to use football to make a better world. So Modao should have acted better, because at the end of the day, the woman got the decision correct. So what is the use of you going there to show respect and then to show dissent to someone who got the decision correct? So it was wrong of him. That's why he got a yellow card. And with these 16 days, we expect players to show respect to our women.
I don't know. I think we're muddying the waters once we start seeing genders on the field. I think it's a referee, it's an assistant, doesn't matter. I scream at you as much as I would have screamed, and I'm pretty sure women don't want that sort of, no, he's not going to scream at me, because I know she wants to be part of the game.
Absolutely.
In its absoluteness of what the game is. But hey, what do I know? Let's hear from you. Let's take your WhatsApps and then take your calls as well. Yeah, let's go to the night first.
Yeah, Andile and the team. I just want to pass a message to Mr. Bruce, our national team coach. Please, man, consider selecting Fetule K for AFCON, please.
Oh, he had a good game against Sundowns.
Yeah.
Mahopa out, Fetule K in. That guy is a striker, and we need him in the national team. Please, I just wanted to pass this message. We are speaking to Happy from Binoni.
Thank you, Happy from Binoni. I've heard a lot of people speak about Mofokeng.
Yeah.
Anytime, Malcolm.
Beautiful crew, and thanks for the good show as always. This is Tabo from Davidson.
Hola, I'm David.
On the comment on the weekend that was, I'll only comment on our CAF teams, how they performed this past weekend. We saw what happened. None of them would manage to win a game. But I think it's a lesson going forward because some of those teams still have away games to play. So I think they'll rejuvenate themselves and get back to winning ways. But good luck and all the best. None of them lost. It's only SuperSport that lost the game. But I believe in Kevin Hunt. I believe in all the other teams that they will do well in their next coming games. Thank you.
Both Sundowns and Khune going 0-0 against Pyramids as well as Stade Itumeleng. So that's what he's talking about. Let's play one more before we take the calls.
Andile,
with
regard to Khune, Chiefs want to release Khune.
Haibo.
They don't want to offer him a job as a background staff member. They want to release him.
Who's your source?
They have 2 goalkeeper coaches. There's no space for Khune as a player and as a backroom staff.
Hey man.
So Kaizer Chiefs won't let this drunken master Khune thing go away. If they're gone next year, there will be no Khune at Kaizer Chiefs. This is your boy Limpopo Peter.
Limpopo Peter, please, we're going to call you. We need the source there.
Yeah,
because that's a mouthful.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And also, I don't think Khune, drunken master? No, yeah, I don't think that's warranted. Not for Khune.
He's stretching it.
No, not for Khune. Let's go to the calls. No one. Let me catch my breath. Okay, here we go. Let's go to Dixon, is it? No, it's not. It's Ferdinand out in Witbank. Ferdinand.
Hey, Andile, how's it?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Hoshi.
Oh, that advert.
Hoshi King.
That's some beer advert.
I know. I don't think. Listen. There are people that, Nadeem was on here and he called a Swallows player by names such as that, and
you benched him,
and we benched him because I don't think Khune deserves that. I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, I don't think so, guys. I think we need to be sensitive when people are dealing with a hard time, and yeah, he was he came a little inebriated, but I don't think he deserves that. So otherwise, Orang Ferdinand.
That's good, mate. I just wanted to ask you, Andile, maybe you should also consider to have a Safa come through to tell us if what they are going to do to help these coaches get these qualifications. Are they going to offer them bursaries and so forth?
You know what, that we can have, because that's the one part of Safa that's willing to have interviews. Yeah. Because that's under Walter Steenbok. And
he's very open about the
very
topic.
open. He faces everything straight on. So we'll definitely speak to him. I thought you were going to ask me to get the president or the CEO.
That's the TD's
Those people
domain.
run.
No, that's the TD's domain. So he's
I'll
very
speak
happy
to the TD.
to talk about it.
We might just have him tomorrow. So listen tomorrow. We'll see if we can have him tomorrow. Let's go to Mpo. Mpo's out in Greenstone. Mpo.
And how are you doing?
Mpo, I know you want the referee. Here he is. Go for it.
If anything, and I know Victor plays in a very light note, if you don't want players to protest against ladies, let them not ref, because we cannot therefore come and call it abuse. Because abuse is something that is very serious. But what Mudau did, it happens every game. Go to the Amazulu game where Sundowns got a Amazulu. What were the players doing? They were protesting.
Remonstrating, yeah.
It's part of the game.
When they do that, and then you call it abuse in a country of ours where people are doing that, let them not ref the game then. Let them stay with the ladies and they'll be fine.
Mpo, very passionate about this one, and I completely hear you. Thank you so much, Mpo. It's out in Greenstone. Let's go to Jansen. Jansen is in Cape Town. Jansen.
Hi. Andile, how's it?
I'm good, man. Did you go out to watch the sevens?
Yes, you know what, Andile, I've got a serious concern with the behavior of our players at all. Listen, I've checked all the games that Khudiso has played. There's no single game that I saw Khudiso behaving well. Each and every time he's got a temper that is showing on the ground. He's a good player, but we need to...
Khudiso Mudau?
In fact, yes. If you can check all the games that Khudiso is playing, there is no where Khudiso had and never had an incident where he shows misbehavior.
So basically, what is misbehavior? Him not being happy with referees' decisions.
Every time he's arguing with the players. Every time he's arguing with the decisions that were took by the referees. Every time when I check on
Khudiso Mudau,
but you need to, yes.
Sailor, you talking about? Are we talking about the same player here?
Yes, we're talking about Khudiso Mudau that is playing for Sundowns. A good player at all.
Jansen, because I have not taken note of it, I don't want to discredit what you're saying. I'll watch out for it.
All right, please just watch out for it. And then the other thing that I wanted to come up with, please, can you on a soccer zone, please, can you check the free kick that was offered to Sundowns, to Pirates, on the head and kick before it was charged. The head and kick of a player who was heading the ball from the guy for TS Galaxy, who was heading the ball, and then after the ball was took
oh, that's the one that Ramovich was not happy with.
Exactly. Now I'm not happy about the free kick that was offered to Pirates. After the incident, that there was a head and kick that was not charged. Please, on a soccer zone, please shed a light on that.
I will. Thank you so much. We'll take a look and see if we can find it, and see if we can get some lateness in there. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's go to Lunga. Lunga is out in Rudaport. Hey, Lunga. Lunga.
Hello, Andile.
Hey, man, talk to me.
So, good day to you and the team.
Sure, Lunga.
Sure, Lunga.
Sure. Yeah, man. First thing I want to talk about the players. Players getting their finances right, and then secondly, I want to talk about teams also paying the players. You know, I was looking at. Sometimes we look at how we live in South Africa. You know, so many players like that nowadays, they get so much money that even if you work for 25 years, you'll never get that money. So they need to come up with financial plans and everything so that they can't be complaining, or no, soccer is a short-term career, money, this and that, to be honest. Because
Lunga,
yes.
How much do soccer players earn?
They can earn up to 1.2 million.
A year?
In South Africa, I'm talking about, a month.
Listen, Lunga, let me say this to you. Yes. I don't know of a player that earns 1.2 million a month, firstly, right? Secondly,
there is a player.
Keegan Dolly is the player you're talking about, right?
Yes.
I think you need to go look at that again. I don't think that Keegan Dolly earns 1.2 million a month.
No chance.
All right.
Okay. I don't even think there's a player in South Africa that earns $1 million a month at the moment, right? But I mean, this is, and I think there's a misconception of what players earn. Yes, there's a very small group of players that earn a lot of money. You know, very small though. That group does not even, you can't even make an 11 from that group. But when you look at majority of players, they don't earn that much money for them to live outside of 25 years that you mentioned. There are players in the DStv Premiership that still earn just under 20,000 rands, just a little bit over 20,000 rands, going all the way to the early 30s. Which in this country with the economy the way it is, that money goes to your bond, your car, and these are young people, so they have cars that you and I wish we could drive, and a little bit of entertainment money. I really think we're being unfair to players, but that's because it's been perpetuated by what we think they earn. Nobody earns a sort of money.
All right. With that has been said, Andile, I'll agree and concur with you. But overall, what I'm trying to say, Andile Kokore, you as a soccer player, to structure like your life overall as a player. Like for example, let's say you start playing, your career start picking up at 25, ne? Just make sure that the contract that you sign is good, and then also improve on your playing as an individual. It's just my 2 cent advice. Appreciate it. Go for 2 years contract. After that, at least improve it to 3 years, And then when you see like I'm bettering myself and all that, at least leverage. Like for example, I feel like from my side, if the story is correct, I think what George Maluleke has done when leaving Chiefs to Sundowns, I think it was a good decision, because if they offer me a year contract with the same salary and then the other team comes with 3 years, even if it's the same salary, but the length, you get my point.
100%. I'm with you there. Thank you so much, Delunga. Somebody just sent me now salaries here. And I think people are looking at Sundown salaries and thinking this is the norm. Because, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top 5 earners at Sundowns. At number 5, somebody earning 8.4. And at number 1, somebody earning 11 in a year. And, of course, with the bonuses that you get at Sundowns and all the money that you get for tournament wins, definitely goes over $1 million for a lot of the players. But a lot of these players are the international players there that make a lot of money. But trust me when I say this, guys. Don't think that this is the norm. Like I said, if there are those that are earning those preposterous amounts, according to what you're saying, it's a handful. It's a handful. We're going to get out of here. Thanks so much for being part of the show. Faith takes over. Pella. That's all.